Tēnā koutou katoa. Good evening and welcome everybody. My name is Frith Walker and I will be facilitating the conversation this evening. I'm so grateful to be joining you all this evening, albeit from the comfort of our lounges. So thank you all for being here. Auckland Conversation provides an opportunity to inspire and stimulate your thinking about the challenges facing Auckland. Tonight we will be joined by a panel of informed and passionate experts who will raise the profile of the City Centre Master Plan and engage us in a discussion around the environmental, social and health benefits that come from greening a city. First and foremost, my best air hostess impersonation, so some housekeeping notes for this evening. The session is being recorded. All members of the audience will have their cameras and microphones disabled, but you can all ask questions via the Q&A chat function. Please note that due to time constraints, we may not get to all questions, but we will do our very best. If you want to direct your question to someone specific on the panel to respond, please add their name to your question. You're of course welcome to tweet during the event using the hashtag AKL Conversations. We have, for the sake of a wonderful conversation this evening, zero tolerance for profanity or cruel remarks. We're here to have a useful and friendly discussion on the topic of greening our city. So any comments and questions that are disrespectful, off topic, will be dismissed. Be kind out there, folks. We always try to ensure that Auckland Conversation events are inclusive and accessible. So the session is being recorded and on-demand viewing of the event and a full transcript will be available on the Auckland Conversations website in the next few days. Just acknowledging also, this is the first time Auckland Conversations has been fully, totally online. Something we're all getting used to. So fingers crossed I don't press the wrong button, or freeze weirdly on you. Ladies and gentlemen, joining the discussion tonight are the following amazing speakers. Ngāti Blair from Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei, Councillor Richard Hills, Chair of the Environment and Climate Change Committee, Hal Davies, Principal Specialist Urban Ngāhere for Auckland Council, Chloe Swarbrick, MP, Auckland Central, Ian White, Professor of Environmental Planning, University of Waikato, and Dr. Natalie Allen, Director of the Urban Advisory. What an amazing lineup. But before we go any further, I'd like to introduce and hand to Ngāti Blair, Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei, to formally open our evening together. Tēnā koe, Ngāti.
Mānawa mai te putanga o te ariki, mānawa mai te putanga o te taura o te tauira. Ka eke rongorupe, ka eke rangita huahua. Tēnei te matakahi, tēnei a maunganui ki tāmaki. Tēnei ngā tihi, tēnei ngā tapu. Tēnei au ko whakatau pōtiki te toa tā maua o rongo Hawaiki. Te topa nei, te tū nei kei ngā taumata. Taumata o te reo, taumata o te ora, taumata o te mātou. Ka puti ki te whai au, ka puti ki te ao marama, whāno, haramai te toki, haumi e, hu ye, tai ki e. E ngā kārangaranga maha, a tēnā koutou, ngā mihi nui e kia koutou, ko hono mai nei ki tēnei kōrero, nau mai, haramai. E ngā tini mate, i ngā tini aitua ki rungi a tātou katoa, haere, haere atu rā. Hoki anō ki a tātou te hongo ora, ngā kānohi ki rungi te rorahiko nei, ngā kai kōrero te pō, tēnā koutou, ki a koe Frith, te kai whakahaere, tēnā koe, utira ki a tātou katoa, ngā mihi, tēnā koutou, kia ora mai tātou katoa, ka huri. Back to you, Frith.
Tēnā koe, Ngāti, ngā mihi nui. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a really important and incredible conversation that we get to have tonight. And the panelists, we were just talking before about how important this kind of thinking is during these weird times that we're living in. So a reminder of the title of tonight's conversation, Greening Our City, how creating more green space in the city centre benefits everyone. As we said in the write-ups, urbanisation, a growing population and climate change call for new solutions to how we create a healthy and happy city centre. Greening a city is an important part of future-proofing our city and improving livability. The City Centre Master Plan is a vision to ensure that the heart of our city remains a vibrant, bountiful place for everyone and sets the strategic direction for our city centre over the next 20 years. It was first published in 2012 and recently refreshed, following extensive engagement and consultation, which revealed overwhelming support for a prosperous, livable, green, accessible and inclusive city centre. Tonight's event is the second in a series of Auckland Conversations planned around some of the big topics that plan addresses, like transport, climate change, connectedness, livability, affordability and inclusivity, with the aim being to dig into that City Centre Master Plan, remind ourselves of its vision and make sure we are making a future worthy of our mokopuna. there is some awesome work underway. A prime example is the City Centre Master Plan Transformational Move number 6 to Ha Noa Victoria Street Linear Park, which, by the way, is out for consultation until Wednesday, the 3rd of November. So please do go online at akhaveyoursay.nz to tell us what you think. Some wonderful words from one of the wonderful people behind that project. Te Ha Noa Victoria Street Linear Park is imagined as a green link, eventually connecting Victoria Park to Albert Park. At the moment, we're delivering on the section between Albert Street and Kitchener Street in line with the CRL's Aotea station. Te Ha, the breath in Te Reo Māori, is the essence of life itself, encompassing all the senses, and Noa is to be free within the journey to experience. Journeying from the middle ridges that form through ways of breathing create a pulse and rhythm of Ha, breath within the city centre, and to the lower part of the city between Karangahape and the Waitemata. Through this movement, the Ha is the hub or nucleus that brings into existence pockets of vitality and breathing life into the city, coming alive. What an awesome city to be living in that we're talking about it like that, ladies and gentlemen. And far more work than that. A really important mention is that we need a clear strategic direction, but it's also important to translate that vision into delivery. So what are we doing as a city centre to deliver these outcomes? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Let's conversate. So the way this is going to work is it will be an introduction by each of our panelists, followed by a panel discussion where you, the audience, will have opportunity, as I said before, to ask questions using that Q&A chat. Tonight's about having a friendly, open discussion about greening our city centre and to raise awareness of that city centre master plan. Reminding you that we have a limited amount of time to get through everything, so it'd be really great if your questions are to the point, and as we like to say, that they should actually include a question. That's always a good thing. And if you'd like to speak to a specific member of the panel, please put their name in the chat.